a.m. I know that is crazy early for most of you, but for me, that's just what time the day starts. So I just got up, put my contacts in, brushed my teeth, and I'm about to do my morning skincare. In a previous video, I showed you all that I do use the Rodan and Fields Redefine line. I am still using that. This morning, I'm really excited to try a new product. I'm gonna try the Microdermabrasion Paste. Sorry, that's a mouthful. So I'm gonna try that. It says to use that in place of the cleanser. So I'm going to skip the daily mask, I think, because that's what I use as my cleanser. And then I will just continue the line as directed, which includes the pore minimizing toner, that's step 2. And then I'm going in with the active hydration serum between that and step 3. That is a sample that I'm trying just to see if I like it. And then going in with the morning time moisturizer, the Triple Defense treatment. So I'm super excited. Ooh, this feels really nice. Sorry, this is a sample to me as well, the paste is. I haven't been able to try it yet. Just got a little bit on my palm, gonna get that wet. Yeah, I'm super excited to try this. I thought it was really sweet of Courtney to let me try it out. That's a really nice thing about having a consultant in my neighborhood is the products that I want to try, I'm able to do so without having to like buy a full size container of it and then risk not liking it, which, I mean, that's not really an issue for me. I've liked everything I've tried. I'm saying that just freely. I mean, that's just my opinion. I've liked everything I've tried. I've had good results with everything I've tried. But I think a lot of that too is I've been really, really lucky, and Courtney knows her stuff, and she's matched me with stuff that, you know, fits my lifestyle and fits my problem areas or concerns, special interests, that kind of thing. Whereas like, if I go to Target, let's be real, I'm just gonna pick up whatever's like the prettiest packaging. I'm a sucker for good packaging. So anyway, just kind of rubbing that in. It feels really nice, first impressions. It's oilier than I expected. That's not a bad thing, by the way. But like, I guess I'd kind of envisioned like a salt scrub or like sugar scrub, something like really gritty that was almost like kind of irritating. It does have some grit to it, but not overwhelming. It almost actually kind of feels like the grittiness. I don't know if it's salt or sugar. I'll look for you guys. It feels like it's dissolving. Like it feels like as it's heating up, as I rub it on my face, it feels like it's dissolving off. A little salty. I got a little bit in my mouth. It's a little salty. But it just feels really, really kind of oily. But again, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but like it just, trying to explain it, that's just kind of what it feels like. It just kind of feels like I'm rubbing in like a serum or an oil. Doesn't have a scent really to speak of. Alright, ooh, and now my hands felt all like slippery. I don't mean ew, like gross, just, oh. Alright, so I'm gonna rinse that off, and then I will be right back. Alright, so I just have a washcloth with cool water on it. Again, just as a first impression, because honest to God, I've never tried this particular product before. Nobody's forcing me to like try it. Nobody's forcing me to say any particular thing about it. I like it. Doesn't really have a fragrance, so if you're a person that fragrances bother you, you're in luck on that. It was like, it looked super thick and gritty in the jar, but then like as soon as I put it on my face, it felt like the heat of my face just melted it. It was gritty while I was like rubbing it in, but then it's like the grit just kind of melted or dissolved, if that makes any sense. Which was nice because then it still felt kind of abrasive. Like I could feel it rubbing in, but it wasn't super harsh where it felt like it was scraping a layer off my face. So that was nice. I was a little bit surprised that it was just oilier than I anticipated it to be. But again, like I keep saying it, I don't mean that in a bad way, it just wasn't what I was expecting. My face does feel like super soft right now. And not, I mean, it doesn't feel greasy, it doesn't feel heavy. I don't think it's anything that would like break you out. It's not heavy, it's not like a lingering oiliness. So, I don't know. I liked it overall. I'd be willing to maybe try that a couple more times. This is not a product that you're supposed to use every day. I believe on the website it said 1 to 3 times a week. I can double check on that. So, you know, just for like a little treat, just to mix it up and do something different, I kind of like it. I'd be willing to try that 1 or 2 more times and just kind of get a feel for it and see if that's something that I'm into. But first impression, my skin does feel stupid soft, which who's gonna be mad about softer skin? All right, so I'm just going in with step 2, the Redefine line. It's the toner, the pore minimizing toner. I really like this stuff. Again, that's just my opinion. Nobody's forcing me to say that. These are my own products. I go in first on my trouble spots where I've noticed pores are the worst. So, nose, chin, cheeks, forehead, the whole gamut. I really like this. I talked about it a little bit in my previous skincare video. I have never really had good luck with toners. They always dry me out really bad. A lot of toners I feel like are really high in either alcohols or salicylic acids to try to minimize acne. But I don't really have a lot of problems with acne. Never really have. So for me, a lot of times those products are just too harsh, and all they really end up doing is causing a lot of redness, a lot of irritation, a lot of dryness, and I already have dryness, so I don't need to make it worse. So I'm just going in. Make sure you like get up in your hairline. That's where I notice if I am gonna break out. That's where I get a lot of it. And truthfully, I think it's just because we kind of forget to like really get up there and get it good and clean. And then I take mine down my neck a little bit because a lot of times I blend my foundation down into my neck, and it just makes sense to me. If you're gonna put makeup on it, you should also be doing skincare on it. So that is that. I feel all dewy. I kind of let it air dry just a little bit because it does leave like a little bit of dampness. And honestly, it just feels good to kind of fan it because it leaves a kind of cooling effect. So, I don't know, it just feels nice. All right, so I am back. Like I said, I am going in with the hydration serum. It says to do it between steps 2 and 3, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to apply it with a cotton pad just because it is a sample for me, and so that's going to be the easiest way to get it out of the jar. So, oh my gosh, that smells really good. It kind of smells like cucumbery, aloe-y, something in that family. It's a very clean spa kind of smell. It's nothing strong, nothing offensive. I don't think it would bother anybody that had a like fragrance issue. But, you know, if that's something you're concerned about, again, that's the really nice thing about having a friend who's a consultant. They can hook you up with samples. Sorry if I'm kind of looking in a wonky direction. I've got my mirror right behind the camera, so I'm just trying to look at that and make sure I'm getting it all where I want it. Okay, I don't know why I'm doing silly voices this morning. I need some coffee. All right, so that, just first impression, that feels really good. Best way I can explain it is it just feels like a serum, I guess. It's kind of an oily consistency, but it's not Like whenever I say oily, I don't mean like, I don't feel like I just poured canola oil on my face. It's just a thicker consistency. You can tell it's not just like water. And it feels very hydrating. And like it doesn't feel tacky or sticky. It doesn't feel heavy at all. I can hardly tell that I put anything on. It just felt very nourishing. I think this is the best way I can explain that. It felt very nourishing. All right, so I'm going in as the last step. Well, last step for me. I do believe that there is a step 4 with Rodan and Fields, but my line ends with step 3. I think 4 is like the makeups and stuff like that. I haven't branched out that far yet, but maybe one day. And this is just the Triple Defense moisturizer. It does have SPF in it, that's why it's the morning one. I was talking to Courtney about it a while back. Because I do have a little baby at home, a lot of times there's days that I just don't leave the house at all. And so those days, if I know for sure like I'm not going anywhere, I will sometimes use my nighttime one, because really the biggest difference between the morning moisturizer and the nighttime moisturizer is the morning one has SPF, whereas the nighttime one doesn't. So if I know for sure I'm not gonna leave, sometimes I will use that one, just because I don't need the SPF coverage. But because I do live in South Florida, even if all I'm planning to do is just get out for a little bit of the day, I still go ahead and do that morning moisturizer, just because it's never gonna hurt to be proactive and take care of your skin. And to apply sunscreen, just really make sure that you're covered. Skin cancer is just not something I'm willing to play with, and honestly, it's just such a great way to prevent sunspots and early signs of aging, to go ahead and have that SPF coverage. So that's it. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, stay positive, be kind, and love your life. Thanks.